Alright, so welcome back everybody. Back in the VAB, and this is Korabl Sputnik 5. So this is the last of the test flights, and it consisted of the Vostok capsule with its service section, and Zvezdochka The Dog. It was probably the first mammal to make it into orbit around Earth and return safely as well. Obviously we can do this at the launch before we go to the launch pad anyway, but okay, so this is the R7. It's still the basic R7. There are no upgrades for this motor as of yet. I've not actually upgraded any motors higher than the ones you've already seen, because I've not really been investing in propulsion. In fact, I haven't been. The only thing I've actually unlocked recently is probably stage combustion, but none of those engines are actually being used on this. This could be an idea to use some, maybe. At some point, obviously, I'll have to. But right now, they're actually quite large for this size launcher. Obviously, that's the N1's engines. NK9V stroke 21 1939-31. Yeah, N1. Used as NK19 on the N1. Upgraded for the N1F. Restack capability as NK31, but obviously the N1 was never safe enough to fly. More's a pity. Yep, so anyway. So as the dog is on board, obviously we can change the loadout when we get to the launch pad. So obviously the fairing, the Vostok descent module, the service module. I also have this section just here with, if you can just see it, yeah, the RD0105. It's actually still in the, I believe it should still be in, yeah, so it's in the R0109, so it's the upgraded version. If you've got it, I suppose I should, I thought I might as well just use it. Right, so I have actually flown this during testing, checking for bugs, things like that. There was quite a serious bug when it comes to some sort of structural failure. Something to do with one of the decouplers, which I'm not actually using. It's this one. I'm not actually using that now. Don't think I am anyway. I hope I'm not. Alright, so save that. So I'm going to take 7 days, 22 hours, 12 minutes and 19 seconds. So I can build 2 of these alongside each other, almost exactly the same rate. So I'm going to build 2 of them. Just in case this one fails, hopefully I'll get the dog back. I hope. So I'm going to lose a lot of reputation if I don't. Alright, let's just check the staging. Should have done that before yeah. Then that motor. Probably don't need that with its fuel dumps to give you all these, but just in case. Rather sort of safe rather than be sorry. Alright. Okay, let's head back out. Let's build, roll out, and go straight for the straight to the launch pad. Alright, so at the launch pad with Korabl Sputnik 5, or at least I hope it will be Korabl Sputnik 5, as in it'll be a success. But there's no guarantees. So I'm going to keep the thermal as well as the orbital information up on KR. Although maybe I shouldn't. Let's get rid of that just for now. Now, there's not much of a view from inside. There's not much of a view at all. He has no window. Or has he? He has got a window, hasn't he? It's a little one just there. Ah, and there as well. But we're actually inside the fairing anyway, so there's not much you can really see. Even if you could actually look out. Now, every so often, because the Vostok capsule has reflective textures, every so often, like the other textures which are reflective, which I've actually resisted using, every so often you get a crash in the clouds. As in the, I don't mean a crash in the clouds, I mean you get a crash in the program that actually ruins the clouds, the Scatterer plugin. Don't quite know why it does that. But it's not every single time you use the part. Okay, so 85 degrees, go to 180. Right, so the dog is on board, even though it looks like a Kerbal. Not much you can really do about that, I suppose. Alright, so quick look at the staging again. Looks alright. Okay, here we go. So it's 3, 2, 1. Right, so that's the initial launch. Got about 2 minutes before the apogee, but this second stage, the second core stage, doesn't have that much TWR. So let's separate. Bottom of the throttle out first. Very stable, but I don't trust it. So I'll just activate this section first. Right, so it's very stable. That's what it says anyway. You can't always trust it, to be telling you the truth. It can flick and say unstable or very unstable, unsafe or risky, and it'll just refuse to deny it. 50 seconds. There you go. Right, so I'm not going to go for any endurance records or anything like that. It's just do the actual Korabl Sputnik 5, which is get them into orbit and bringing it back alive. Obviously, endurance missions start when manned flights actually start. .160 kilometers or so. Right, there we go. Alright, so that's that. Let's turn this off. So that's all. So that's the orbit achieved 220.6 or so kilometers by 163.7 kilometers, doing 7,762.2 meters per second, just under 7.8 kilometers a second. And we've still got about a third of the, maybe about a third of the tank, but we won't need that again. I've only got a single ignition anyway, so this will only be the fuel dumps we could use. Switch camera view. Right, so now the nitrogen does tend to sort of, it does tend to well, it's all pretty mute right now because we've got no contact. Well, I've still got control as far as that's concerned, so it's still low, just low bandwidth. Alright. So I'll keep on low power. So every single little blast takes about 200 nitrogen out of the tank, which you don't really want. So some I've got local commentary of that it's actually a dog we're flying with, but we'll ignore that. So I've actually got a CO2 scrub on board this. It's supposed to take potassium superoxide, carbon dioxide and electric charge, and it's supposed to produce oxygen, but we have got a full day's worth of oxygen. No, we have 2 days worth of oxygen, 1 day of water and 1 day of food. And the electricity is infinite, apparently. You're now actually using 0.19. So it's not infinite. I think it's simply because it's not calculating how much it's actually using itself properly. So that could be a problem. At some point it needs to be worked out exactly how much we're actually going to be using. Right. RSS is enabled. Deploy antennas. And deploy the radiators. I'll shut down the engine just for now. A tiny little bit of K20 and Tonka 250. But about just over 1,000 in nitrogen now. Just for that tiny little bit. Right, so do we have any... No telemetry. Boat crew report. No. I suppose we might get a crew report or something like that. As we orbit the planet. Which I don't think we need to actually do with this particular mission. Don't think there's a... No. So let's just reach orbit and recover Zvezdochka The Dog. So that's all we need to do. So we've reached a crude speed record 7 kilometers per second. Got 30,443 on reputation. And that's the rest of it. That's been destroyed. No, wait a minute. Just missed one. Never mind. It's probably 5 kilometers a second. Should we take a look? Yeah, it's 5 kilometers a second. 5,000 meters per second. Crew is one Kerbal. It's funny now because this is counting it as a crew, the dog as a crew, and yet first orbital flight crewed have one crew member on board. It's not ticked because it's actually listed as a tourist. Weird. Let's put thermal up. Right, so let's get ready to return back to Earth. But I think we'll wait till we reach the apoapsis. The periapsis, sorry. So lay down to the periapsis. And then bring the apoapsis down. That will be better. That we can bring the highest point down. Make it much more gentle. So we're not in risk of actually losing the dog. Or the obviously the capsule itself. Alright, so about 2.5 minutes to periapsis. No power. You can see how much nitrogen it's actually using. Just for tiny little adjustments, it's using quite a lot. We use 4,000, 5,000. Bring the motor back on. So I'm going to bring the apoapsis down just inside the atmosphere, about 90 kilometers. And the periapsis on switches. I was concentrating on the drift slightly, so I still had the RCS on low power. Alright, so periapsis is about 85 kilometers, a little bit, about 5 kilometers below what I wanted it to be at. But it's 192 by 85.2. Chutes are already armed. So I think it's probably going to be night time by the time we actually get around. Yeah, heading into night. And perhaps this is just so that'll get dragged towards. Yeah, so it'll be night time when we actually land. It's almost a pity, there's nothing to see. Yep, looks like that satellite's moved right out of sync in that four-way network. But I think one of them's run out of fuel anyway. I think they've run out of hydrazine. I do have a contract for the first geostationary satellite, so I'll put that in orbit at some point and then put the other 4 in for the other contract. Alright, so I think we'll let this go. Shut the motor down. Half the planet's sort of diameter, although as we start to hit the atmosphere, that will be dragged closer. Alright, let's let this go. SS off, RCS off. Okay, so decoupling 3, 2, 1. Now, the thing about this ballistic capsule, it will actually, it's weighted, so it'll always go retrograde. No, as in rear into the atmosphere. Oh, I did fit an extra parachute here because of Dangit. There is a drogue chute and a standard normal chute in this pack just here. But you can't always trust them to work. So I thought I'd put one of the radial parachutes on the capsule itself. Do I have a crew report? Not still nothing. I don't know about any other manned flight. Well, it's obviously not a manned flight, so maybe that's why. Right, so I'm going to store. I'm going to retract the antenna. Okay, and let's go around until we hit the atmosphere. So let's warp around. Right, so here we go. Got 2.5. I'm going to leave that till the manned crew though. about 9 Gs there. It seems to stabilise about 9 Gs, not for too long. So that's well within tolerances. So if every re-entry is like that, it should be fine. Because I have no idea why it spins, why it's rotating. Oh, come on, let me click on it. Thank you. I suppose for a reenactment of the Vostok 1 with Yuri Gagarin. Oh, it's not going to do it with the dog, but I should really click on EVA. But obviously the dog can't do that. But I have got ejection seats and personal parachutes installed again because it tends to be deadly re-entry was caused a problem. So that's good. Why can I not? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that was it. So we got to about 50, just over 50% critical temperature. So that's in critical thermal percentage. Well, that's not too bad. Also, if a lunar returns, there's no way it would survive for lunar. So that's a good ship. When it fully deploys, then it'll detach. There's it detached. Then the main chute deploys. And then deploys fully at about 1 kilometre or so. Then my radial chute also deploys. Right, so. And I fitted the radial chute just purely because I didn't trust it. If it ever failed, yeah, they've only got one chute. Even though it says 5 spare chutes, it never actually seems to use the spare chutes when Dangit hits it and causes it to fail. I have no idea where we are though. Over the ocean, over land. Just pull those away for a second. And that's Korabl Sputnik 5 done. So next one will be on the first manned orbit. It'll be Vostok 1. So I'll have to see if that contract's actually in the mission control building first. They don't always follow in sequence for some reason. Sounds of the ocean. So I'll take it we have to recover. Yeah, recover Zvezdochka The Dog. So I've got to recover the vessel. Alright, let's go and recover. Go back to the Space Center. Alright, so that's the end of Korabl Sputnik 5. Data value of 1.67, 1.7 science. So if recovery of a vessel returned from Earth orbit. So it gives me 48.2 in science. All the parts, well obviously not all the parts. Parachutes, ablator, oxygen. You get nothing back for any of those. You do for a bit of the ablator though, so I had quite a lot of the ablator. I only used about 10 points worth of the ablator. Spare parts, obviously I didn't have any of those. I emptied those out. Parachute, Vostok parachute, and the descent module. It's gained 2 experience and gained a single point. That's skill. So star is a skill point, and these are experience. So you need 2 experience for at least the first skill point that you want. So for 873 total reputation. And that should be that. Yeah, Korabl Sputnik 5. Success Korabl Sputnik 5 was a final step in the approval for the Soviet Union to send a man into orbit. So it's 254,840 funds, 2 science, and 5 reputation. Let's take a look in the mission control building. Let's see. They should have the moon. We've got Vostok 1. There's no deadline. So we'll take that. That's a satellite. No landing uncrewed. Obviously, we can't do that yet. I don't have any throttleable engines, I keep saying. With it. Right, so launch Vostok. Gives me 90 days, but I easily do it. I can build one in 7 days. Alright, so, because of one orbit, obviously ejected. Yuri Gagarin actually ejected and parachuted to the ground separately from the spacecraft. That was at 7 kilometers. So, into space, come to at least one orbit of Kerbal, return separately to Kerbal. Obviously, it means Earth. That's probably should really be reading as home world, but there we'll bring Vostok 1 to orbit around Earth. So it actually selects orb. The text is different from the actual contract code itself. Right, so I'll accept that one as well. So we've got at least two contracts for Vostok 1. And of course the Kerbal flight crewed. That does have a deadline, 1,000 days. That has none. And that should have, that had 90 days. Well, that's Veneer, isn't it? I do want to click on the wrong one there. I'm looking at the hammer and sickle rather than... Yeah, 90 days, 17 hours, 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Alright, so... Alright, so next up will be the first actual manned orbit, or the first crewed orbit. Vostok 1.